Coming to you live somewhere from the planet Earth. That's right. It's comfortably zoned in Metsville, a video podcast with Ralph, Zig, Tyko.
Pauly B, the best producer in San Francisco, doing podcasts. And Ed Studio is where you're at. I'm in Alameda. My co-host Robert Cole is in Florida. And our guest, Bernie Rose, is in Florida as well. Isn't this amazing?
Quite.
Okay. Robert, you give us an idea of what you think we've got going, and I'll give you what I think I have going with this venture. Start out,
Okay.
Robert.
Well, I believe we're going to be talking Mets today, yesterday, and tomorrow, and we certainly have a lot of material to talk about. This year's team, I don't know if we have a whole lot to talk about. We can always talk about 69 and 86, which were good years. Okay, or we can have Bernie Rose.
My favorite team was 73, so we won't ignore them over the months that we do this.
Oh no, 62. We have to start with 62. We have a lot to talk about in 62. When
if you ask my wife, we have to start with 69. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just walked in. I'm so sorry. I just walked in.
Let me ask you. I just walked in. Was that an invitation to ask your wife?
That's the most indecent proposal, Mr. Redford, I've ever heard. Sorry.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
Well, we could talk about that if you like, Paulie.
It's a whole different ball game. I'm just telling you now.
Yes, it is. Imagine how things have changed since 62 till now, society-wise. Isn't this been a fuck of a ride? Let me say that. But nevertheless, we are going to cover the gamut. We must start today, though, with the question that I talked about off the air, is who allowed, why did they allow, could have they stopped Alonso from leaving? Diaz notwithstanding. I mean, the whole thing in the offseason decimated them, and going in without the closer, you knew it was going to be the kind of year it is now. And I want to add to that, my question is, when did they give up on Mendoza as manager? He looks like a deer in the headlights. So start with you, Bernie.
Well,
let me know what you think.
Yeah. When you don't hit, maybe it's the manager's fault, but I don't see how it could be. No one is hitting over 231. Soto is, but he doesn't have enough at-bats. He hasn't even played a month yet, has he? I mean, so...
No,
right.
He hasn't.
So he's hitting 269, but no one's hitting. So I think you got to at least give him a little bit of breathing room, no?
Yeah.
Robert?
What will happen first, okay, is that they'll fire the hitting coaches. Okay,
Right.
That's step one. Okay. And then you see if that wakes the bats up. Pitching has been pretty decent, so the pitching coach should be safe for now. But normally the way this works is you start with the coaches first and, work your way to the manager. But in all fairness to Mendoza, okay, he didn't put the team together. David Stearns put the team together. Okay. and he didn't put a very good team together this year. He let certain pieces leave. Okay, Alonso traded McNeil. Okay, traded Nimmo. Let Diaz walk. Okay, and that's your so-called core four of the Mets. And you let those four walk, and now you're trying to replace them with guys that are coming to New York for the first time. So it really is not the manager's fault. If it's anybody's fault, it's the GM, and he's not going to fire himself. So there you go. But I think the batting coaches will go first.
Okay. Linda, you guys didn't mention Lindor has been injured, and that has to be a contributing part. Is Bichette doing it at short with the glove?
Oh yeah, but Bichette's a good shortstop.
Okay.
He wasn't going to take Lindor's place, but he's good at short, and Beatty at third base is their best third baseman. So when you have Bichette at short and Beatty at third, you have a stronger defensive team. But on Sunday, they had one of the worst defensive teams I've ever seen. Okay. And don't forget, they also lost Mauricio as well. And they lost the guy Young. They've lost a lot of guys. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries. And, you can't blame that on the manager either. But when Soto was injured, okay, Lindor was not hitting. Lindor started hitting. Soto came back. The same day Soto came back, Lindor got injured. And, it's just, it's Met karma. It's about what you can
Well,
say.
I hate to look at it that way, but you could be right. But
You
it
could
comes
be
down.
right. We've had 60 years of it, so it may be that it's catching. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
What do
Well,
you think? Can they reach 500 by the end of the year?
Oh,
If
for sure. For
plenty of
sure.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
okay,
forget, 2 years ago, they had an even worse start than this. Mendoza's first year.
And
And then
turned it
they got
around.
hot. They got hot down the stretch. And, they got into the playoffs. And Bernie's team knocked us out before the World Series started. But, they were doing well. Last year, they started off like a house on fire. Okay. And then Mr. Alonso threw a ball, okay, to the pitcher covering first base. Okay. Mr. Senga. Senga pulled his hamstring. Senga has not been the same since. And the
No, he
pitching went
hasn't.
down. From that day on, okay, the team went into a tailspin.
Yeah, that's a good point because that hurt. Senga has not been the same.
No.
And,
And
in the course of a whole season, Bichette, he should hit.
he
You
will.
have,
He
and
will.
and when Lindor comes back, I mean, he was not really doing anything this year. But again, short sample size. He's a good player. So he comes back and Bichette hits, and the second
No,
baseman from Texas, he can't be as bad as he's been. I mean,
Semien.
Simeon, he's better
Yes,
than
Semien.
that. And so,
And don't forget the guy they got to replace Alonso, Polanco, has been hurt. He's been out.
good
Okay.
point.
And he
Good point.
basically hurt himself the first day, the first day of the season. Okay. He hurt his heel. Okay. Then when he's ready to come back, he hurt his elbow. So, now he's trying to work his way back. So when these guys come back, it's going to be like spring training again. So, it's tough. And, just getting back to the manager thing, you can't really blame him. They
no.
will, but you really can't really blame him.
Okay. My question is this. When a team loses 10 games in a row, does the manager have to take some responsibility for not stopping the bleeding? I'm not saying total blame for the bleeding in the first place. But is there something that the manager, and he puts Soto as the leadoff man? I don't think that's a good idea.
He has
Uh,
tried so many different lineups. He had Soto, batting in his normal second position. Okay. Then he tried him in third position, cleanup. Now he's got him batting leadoff. The Yankees have done that with Judge from time to time too. Whenever Judge hits a slump, they put him leadoff and he straightens out. So, Mendoza, don't forget, was a long-time bench coach and a coach for the Yankees. So, he saw that kind of stuff. He's
Good
trying some of
point.
that stuff.
Yeah, I'm
But
looking at him as a young guy, not ready for the position. But just you saying that, he was a bench coach with the Yankees.
yes,
And
yes.
I have more of an appreciation for his experience. Thank you.
He made a
And
couple of mistakes, okay, during the 10 game, streak. Made a couple of, bad moves. Okay, that's going to happen. But he was trying everything he knew how to try to, stop the bleeding.
okay. Hey, Bon, let me just say that when Robert was talking about the Dodgers beating them that year,
24. Yeah.
I just happened, it's a video thing, just happened to see a little grin cross your face.
Was it
Not a
really?
big grin. You didn't just laugh out loud because this was a Met show and you're a Dodger fan. But I understand we've been talking about this for a long time.
If you go back about 10 years, the Mets beat the Dodgers in the playoffs when
Yes,
Seager was a rookie that year. So it's got to be, it's before 17, that's for sure. And what was
yes,
it,
Yeah. And you
14,
know what?
15, something like that? And I thought the Dodgers had the better team that year. So,
they did. They did.
right. And Seager made that rookie mistake by in the field that cost them, and that whole series could have turned on that one play in particular. But so you never know when you have two teams going at it. The best team sometimes doesn't win.
Yeah, well,
You
just look at
know, let's go
69.
back. Let's go back to 1987 when the Mets were champions and going for a repeat. Who screwed it up but the Dodgers and Guerrero? So we got a long history of that rivalry.
Oh, 1988. Are you kidding me? That was unbelievable. That was
Yeah.
a good
You guys
one,
are going
right?
back to 87 and 88. I feel like I'm having a flashback from my first time I dropped LSD, but go ahead, guys. Keep talking. Keep talking. Because I have to contribute somewhere. I should be just the
Well,
guy pushing the buttons, right? I gotta throw in
Paulie,
stupid stuff
That
once in
was
a
do
while.
Sosa
you
hitting the
really
home
know if
run.
that was your first? Do you really know if that was the first time you did LSD, or
No,
are
it
you
was
a Met?
let me see, 87. No. That was probably about 3 years too late.
Okay.
No, I wasn't
Um,
20. I was more like 17.
well, you know what, Paulie? Because we still have the same wonderful sponsors, and we're going to add to it. What's the name of your company that you are selling, Robert? Um, Memorabilia and
Yeah,
cards.
yeah, it's on eBay. Okay, it's under Robco, ROBCO, and I have all kinds of Mets stuff, Dodger stuff, uh, all kinds of different things: Pokemon cards, baseball cards, football, hockey, and we put it up there, and there's about 250, 300 things on up for sale right now. In fact,
Wow.
Beautiful. Now, let me
my
tell you,
I may be selling my Met hat very soon as well.
And don't
Well,
worry,
it'll
guys.
be
Don't worry, guys. Here in Metsville, we have things planned out so well. All you have to do is click that little picture right there in the corner. Oh wait, we didn't plan this. Go ahead. I'm sorry, but we'll have a graphic. We'll have a link. You'll be able to go to Rob's Co. But you were saying, Zing,
and you'll
right?
be a great sponsor, and you won't charge us much money. As a matter of fact, you got a freebie because you're part of the deal. How about that?
That's right. That's right. And a
Uh,
player to be named later as well.
right,
Well,
having cheating.
you got to get me one of these.
Uh,
It's. I just saw it today. They might be giving it away at Dodger Stadium today. That is Miggy Rowe and his stroke of the ninth inning home run in Game 7 last year. They're giving that bobblehead away today. And Peter,
Let
your
me
You
friend,
go in and get a fill up in your gas tank, right? At
our
like any
friend Peter,
76 gas station.
I know you're all friends with Peter
Yeah.
Trump. He put that out there today, and I said I need one because I
Well,
don't have any bobbleheads and I don't collect them. But
go on eBay tonight, right after the game's over, and you'll have about 5,000 of them on
is that
sale.
right? See, I never
yeah.
go on that. I've
Yeah.
never bought anything there. I've never been on any of those sites.
Anytime there's a giveaway, any team, okay?
Really?
Yep. You want that giveaway? Okay. Minutes after the Gil Hodges giveaway, when they retired Gil's number in
Right.
Dodger Stadium. Minutes after that game ended, there was probably 10,000 Gil Hodges bobbleheads
Yeah.
available.
See, I never would have thought
whoa,
of that. That's incredible.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Some people only go to the game for that.
isn't that funny? Yeah.
Yep.
1988, one more note on that.
Uh-oh.
The Mets beat the Dodgers 11 out of 12 that year, if you recall.
Well,
11 out,
the Mets were the better team that year.
11 out
And
of 12.
that's what we've been saying. You don't know. Both teams are rivals. A lot of people don't think of it that way, but they are. And
But all Hershiser, he had what Yamamoto had last year. He had it.
Yep.
Hershiser was unhittable, and he was just incredible that year. And
yeah. And then the Mets went and got Hershiser, and he wasn't as good.
well,
Just
he
like
had,
just like they got Tom Glavine, and Tom Glavine
I
wasn't
was
as good.
just gonna say that he's probably in the Hall of Fame already, and he was a big disappointment. Tom Glavine,
Oh yeah.
as
And Ralph, he admitted later on he went strictly for the money. That's all it was. And then as soon as he had the chance to go back to the Braves for the final hurrah, he did it.
well,
Tom,
what is that? What does that say about him?
Well,
But
hold on. It says that talent doesn't follow the pure at heart.
So was he
Right?
saying he
It's
was
not because
done?
just because you play ball for a love of the game doesn't mean you're a good person, or vice versa. If you're doing it for money, doesn't mean you don't have the talent.
Well, if there was no money, they wouldn't be doing it. But
it's a crock of shit when they say.
Are you sure? So I had a discussion with some teachers a couple weeks ago, and they were discussing why there's not as many people that aspire to be teachers. And I said, well, it's not because they asked everybody in the room, can you think of one? I could probably ask you guys. Think of a teacher that changed your life or that inspired you. And everybody within a half a second remembered a teacher. Could have been their kindergarten teacher, could have been their college teacher, but they picked a name out and you could see each one of them had a light turn on. That's inspiration. I think that's what sports does too. When you first start playing a sport and you find you have a talent for it, because just because you love it doesn't mean you're good at it. And usually when you first start, when you're a child, you're never great at something right out of the gate. You might have
Right.
some innate talent or a good eye or quick speed, but it's always a developing thing, right? So I
Yep.
think it starts off with inspiration. So I think sports people, even firemen, astronauts, I think all those were probably kids that were astronauts when they were kids, that were,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
Jackie Robinson in the Sandlot.
Well, we
You know,
were either cowboys or soldiers, things like
right,
that.
right.
And
And so
by the
I
way,
think
by the
I
way,
think nowadays maybe this generation they're more money driven, money centric.
Yep.
And maybe a lot of that comes into play, but I think early on, talent and desire kind of meet,
Yeah.
and it susses out one way or another because not everybody's going to be a pro baseball player.
and the
Mm.
teacher I always
You gotta
remember is
have-
my French
You
teacher,
gotta have
and I don't know a
passion,
word of
too.
French.
But to get back to the point, whether they're doing it for the money or not, if there's no money, they may do it, but they'd have to do it in their spare time because how are they going to live? You can't play 162 games and not get paid. How are you going to pay the rent?
Well, and at
Right.
this
Or the
point,
mortgage or
they pay
whatever.
these guys so much money that you can't put the genie back in
Well,
the bottle.
it's gotten completely out of whack, but
Right.
if the money's there, the money's there. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah,
want
I don't begrudge the player
to, no,
making
I
as
don't either.
much money as they can, because I remember, and we all remember, when before the reserve clause and
Absolutely.
came in, they were making as much money as George Weiss, who was the Yankee general manager, as an example, would pay them. They didn't have an option. Big Rashi, when he wanted more money, they traded him to St. Louis. They had won 5 World Series in a row, and Rashi was part of it. And all of a sudden, he's gone. They
Hey, look,
they
Mickey
were
Mantle.
not rewarding. They were looking at players back then as meat. That's all, piece of
Yeah.
meat.
Oh, sure. The year after Mickey Mantle won the Triple Crown, he still hit like 317. He still knocked in something like 125 runs,
And you got a pay
and
cut.
what and they cut him 10%.
Yep.
Can
Right.
you imagine? Yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine how that he's a human being and that plays on his mind every day that he put on a Yankee uniform on some with pain. Man went through a whole lot of pain
Oh,
in his
please.
Yeah.
career.
Of course he did.
And you remember the old Ralph Howe thing? He says, well, how do you feel today? He was the manager of the Yankees. How do you feel today, Mick? He says, well, I think my leg finally fell off. He goes, well, tape it up and get in there. We need you today. Now, that's the same Yankees that when he, like you say, came back from winning a triple crown the next year, had a decent year,
Had a
as
good
a matter
year.
of fact,
Had a good
and
year.
they wanted to get a good year, and they wanted to cut him. It was treacherous. Getting back to my point of saying all that was that who can, as you said, Bernie, the money's there. Can you imagine what Steve Cohen? That's why I say with Alonso, if it was a matter of money, that's a joke.
Well,
He's got all the money.
like we talked off air, Ralph. Okay, before we started, Alonso, was going around checking with different people. The Mets basically said, "Go get your best deal. Okay, come back and we'll talk. Okay. Alonso was looking for years in money. The Mets only wanted to go as high as 3 years. He got 5 years with the Orioles, never went back to the Mets and signed. And, you can have all the money in the world, but if players don't come back to you, okay, and give you a
That's true.
chance, the same thing with Diaz. Diaz, the same thing. The Mets expected him to come back and say, the Dodgers are giving me X. Okay, we'll give you X, Y. Well, he never did. He stayed right where he was, signed in Los Angeles, and that's the way it is. So, again, you can have all the money in the world, but that doesn't mean you're going to sign the people.
Right, but to get back
Good
on the
point.
point, the money's there. And if it's ESPN and cable and, the whole modern tech world, everybody wants a piece. There's a game on Apple. There's a game on Peacock. There's a game on TNT and TBS and Fox and NBC. I mean, everybody's there's money coming out of their ears, and the players deserve it. There's no game without the players. And like you said, Ralph, before the reserve clause got challenged, they had no recourse. They got whatever they were told to get. The year Koufax and Drysdale held out, nobody got more than $100,000 before that. And the Dodgers wanted to give them $100,000. So they held out. All they got was $125,000.
Yep.
Think about that. Because even though the money then cannot possibly relate to the money now, it still was a hell of a lot more. All they had to do was shell out another $50,000 for 2 Hall of Famers. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
They asked Joe DiMaggio once, many years ago, how much money he thought he would make if he was playing now. He said, George would have to make me part owner.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
you can't
he
begrudge
should.
them. They get 20 years tops is what they get. But still, 10 to 15 years is a career most of the time. And excuse me. And the money's there. They deserve it. How many people can play Major League Baseball? Or minor league baseball, for that matter?
There's so much money being made, okay? They can let us into the ballpark for free, okay, and still be making big money, okay? And yet they keep raising ticket prices. Okay? There's no need to raise ticket prices. There's no they got money coming, out of the yin yang from all the television networks and stuff. Okay. Yet they keep raising.
I agree. Parking? Are you kidding me? How much is parking these days? I mean, is it up to $40
Well, it's
yet?
kind of the goose that laid the golden egg. But if you don't take care of that goose, and by this I mean taking care that you develop fans for the future with the kids.
Well, they're not.
Be good.
They're not.
They should let the kid. There should be a special thing where, like the Not Whole Gang used to be. CYO used to get tickets and stuff.
Ziggy, I'm gonna interrupt you because I need you to reset your mic. But it's okay. Did you want me to roll and do some commercials too? While I'm doing that, I didn't want to cut you. I didn't want to cut you off, but all of a sudden you were coming out really garbly. So not a problem. You're fine now. You're kind of okay now. I can hear you just fine. So, all right, back with you. Sorry.
People, we originate in Alameda, California, and that's who our sponsorship comes from. And along with Robert, we're going to have 3 sponsors. We're lawyered up. Tell us about that, Paulie.
All right, here we go. Just like the man says, we're lawyered up. We'll be right back after this. Whether it's criminal defense, estate planning, or civil litigation, the answer is the law offices of Andrew Doja.
Call us today at 510-865-1600 or find us on the web at dojalaw.com.
For tenant and landlord disputes, there's no other than the law office of Jeff Canberra. Call now 1-510-865-7369 and don't forget to tell them Zig sent you.
And you guys, please go like, subscribe, and follow us in Metsville. That's right. Go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Twitch. You'll be notified when a new episode drops. Currently, the zone is in hiatus, but it will be back. But until then, please go like, subscribe, and ring that bell on new episodes of Metsville. Here we go. Back to you guys here. You guys
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to thank you, Ralph, and you guys for all the good times that my brother had with you on the podcasts and the video casts, and for naming the flight deck, Ralph, after Marty. That's really cool. I saw that little post, and it's just.
Oh yeah, we are coming to you from the Marty Rose Memorial podcast booth, and he will always be remembered, certainly by Bernie and I, but he made quite an impact on the internet doing the shows we did, and we love him. What can I say?
Yeah. And he loved doing them, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you.
Oh, for
We
sure.
never got to it last week, so I didn't want to not say something this time. He really enjoyed it. And
oh, great. Peg said that too, that he enjoyed our company. Wasn't so much the show, and it was the show, but it was our interactions. And I hate to say this because he's gone, but it keeps us young. And were it not for the tragedy of ALS, he'd still be here for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he used to do a lot of work before the shows. I mean, he had his facts and his figures. He could give us batting averages and stuff that Ralph and I would forget because we're old. But Marty did the work, and he had the numbers for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we miss him. We miss him a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Bernie, you contributed so much to the Met show as well, even though you're a Dodger fan. I like that smile when you realized he was just talking about how great the Dodgers were. And 3 in a row, is that right?
Not the way they're playing right now, but it's a long season. They had 2 months last year where they were 10 games under 500.
Right.
Not each month, but for the
They were
2-month period.
Yes.
And they still had the 3rd best record in baseball, I think, or the National League anyway. And but you know what? When push came to shove, they did it again. Now, certainly you'd think they could do it again, but boy, what I'm seeing right now, Ohtani's hitting for the month of May about 135, and he hasn't hit all year, and it's just really it's tough to watch. How can a guy like that hit so horribly? It's really amazing.
He's
Go ahead.
He's got his heart set on a Cy Young Award this year.
And I wonder if that's it, that his head just isn't with the bat.
Right. It's about pitching.
And he's pitching great. They don't hit for him because he's not the only problem at the bat. Nobody's hitting. That's
Right.
why, it remains to be seen what they can do. Should it get better? Well, it should. You know what? I knew the Giants were going to beat them last night. I just knew it. Partially because Sasaki, I just don't have a whole lot of faith in right now. And he was the starter. But again, nobody was hitting. And so it's tough to watch. That they've had a bad 2 weeks. They just have not played well at all. But so what? They're half a game out. They're still within 3-4 games of having the best record in baseball, but they're only 7 games over 500. This team should be 15 games over right now, but they're just not doing it.
Well, on behalf of all Met fans, we're crying for you, Bernie.
All right, so I was a little slow on the draw, but here you go. If you guys can see the top of your screen, this is just something to fill the space until the next episode. But Bernie, you were just talking about it. This is in honor of your brother. This should come up now. Can you guys? I hope you see it. Hold on, and there we go. Can you see it?
I do not.
It says Marty Rose Memorial Podcast Booth, scrolling across the top.
Marty Rose.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I can't see it. But
I can't see it either.
I can't.
There you go. It's okay. You'll see it in the post, but we'll do
Good.
something better too in the future. But that'll get us through.
Hey, Paulie, let's take a moment to talk about your fine producing and Edge Studios in a positive way. You've done some great work. It's been like 3 years almost
Oh, it's
since
almost
I've
been
been
5.
with
It's
you.
okay. Oh yeah, but 3 years since we've been together doing it. Correct.
Yeah.
And so, boy, what do we want to talk about? Thanks for the underhand pitch, Pops. See if I can hit it out of the front yard on this one. What we do here at Edge Studios is we help people I guess bring their dream or their thoughts to fruition. There's a lot of people I run into on a daily that ask me, "Oh, you do podcasting? I always wanted to do a podcast," or "I'm doing a podcast," or "I've always thought about it," or something. And so there's all different levels of aptitude. And everybody now, walks around with a little mini computer in their hands. And so what we do at Edge Studios is we can help anybody as long as you have internet connectivity and even a cell phone with decent resolution. Again, with good connection, like either Wi-Fi or internet or data or whatever, and we can help you. We're running this show. As you can see, 3 of the guests here, or 3 of the people on this feed, are actually using their phones. And we help you. So like, this is the first podcast. I take notes. I take notes on every podcast. I've been taking notes this whole podcast on stuff that we're going to resolve and do. It's an evolution. And so what we do is that we help you with any aptitude. If you're a seasoned pro, or if you've never done this before, but as long as you have a device in your hand and you have the attitude to do no harm, we can help you at Edge Studios. So we ask you, please reach out to us. Feel free to send us an email at edgestudiosunline@gmail.com, or you can call us at 650-503-3435, and we can see where you're at and we can help you. We have kind of a sliding scale depending on what services you need. Again, it could be anything from I don't know anything about it, I just want to do it, and all I've got is my phone, or I've got a full-fledged studio at home and I have all the know-how, I just need a kick in the butt and pointed in the right direction. We at Edge Studios can help you do that. And that's always been, when you used to, you could read a Playboy magazine, in the centerfold it would say what's their turn-ons. My turn-on is creativity. So if you tell me you're creative and you have an idea, and again, you're doing it for the right reasons and love of the game. We were just talking about a love of the game. If you're doing it for the love of the game or to express yourself in a positive, creative way, we can help you at Ed Studios. So again, reach out to us, Ed Studios online, edstudios@gmail.com. We'd love to have you over. And I think that's it. But thank you. Let me get my little plug in there.
All
I
right.
had a
Well,
girlfriend that
you
was
have to watch out saying get that little plug in there when you're in San Francisco. So I'm just letting you know. Yeah, that's sorry.
well, I'm
it's
learning
a
today.
child
I'm
podcast.
such a virgin myself that I'm learning from you, Paul.
Okay.
There, because I was just taught the mission. Never mind.
This is
So how we
a
doing
family
time? How we
podcast
doing
here. It's a
time?
family
How we
podcast.
doing time wise? Before I ask these guys a question that
You're
I
40.
want
You're
to.
41 minutes in, sir. 41 minutes in.
Okay, I'm going to let them elaborate on their favorite all-time Mets. Whoever it was, doesn't have to be a superstar. For whatever reason, if you would, and I'll start with Marty, elaborate on
Bernie.
oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, Bernie.
It's the lack of cannabis. Get this man a joint right away.
Um,
Stat.
no, it's the lack of the brain cells coming together.
Let me give
But
you that.
I'm
Oh
not
wait, hold on. We
president.
have a caller calling in. Long time
No, we
listener,
don't.
first time caller. Go ahead. You're on Metsville.
Well,
Sorry.
for me, without, I don't know how it couldn't be Tom Seaver. He was the best, he's Mr. Met. I mean, he was the best Met ever. And he was the best pitcher after when in the late 60s, 70s. Who was better? I mean, really. There were some great pitchers, but when did he break in? 66, 67? And come on. I mean, Tom Seaver was everything to Met fans back in those days. Other than that, you got to go Casey Stengel, baby. You got to love Casey.
You'll love the reel we're putting together because there's a lot of Casey in there.
Oh, I love it.
And what did he say that really made sense to me?
Can't
well,
anybody here play this game?
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy Breslin wrote that book. And the Mets was so written about after that season. There were 5 or 6 great books. So that's your bibliography today, young men and women. And you're all young to me. I gotta tell you, this is my 80th year, and you're not far behind, Robert, when you reach the point where it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how people react. You just gotta please yourself. And that's what we're gonna do on this podcast. And hopefully we do it every day. Just not take what people say as gospel, and not argue. Paulie and I refuse to take people on the show on in the zone that would be anti us, anti our ideology.
Yes, they have to drink the Kool-Aid to come on the show. They have to drink the Kool-Aid to come on the show.
But we got different flavors of Kool-Aid.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
that makes it nice.
And they're all
Uh,
cannabis infused again.
What do you have?
Same
Orange
ideology.
sunshine?
mm.
All right,
Hey,
so
I'm gonna
I'm gonna be the young
be,
man. Hold on, I'm gonna be the young man. I'm gonna go back one question because I know you're wrapping things up, but you were talking about you're gonna keep it the same ideology, but I'll be the young man here. I'm gonna bring in AI for a second. You had asked favorite all-time Mets. Now, if you were to ask AI today what its favorite all-time Mets and why, it would start off with number one, Tom Seaver, and it's because he's the three-time Cy Young winner. Also went by the franchise and did franchise leader in wins of 198. Second person would be David Wright, all-time leader in hits, runs, and RBIs. Number three coming in with Mike Piazza, highest slugging percentage in the team history, and of course he's a Hall of Famer. That was number three. Number four, Dwight Gooden, 1985 Cy Young winner, second in franchise wins with 157. And then number five, we'll just stop at number five, which is going to be Darryl Strawberry, 8-time All-Star, second in franchise home runs with 252.
All right.
just want to.
Before Robert goes, let me just say two things. Mert and I went to Dodger Stadium in 1971, and the Mets were playing the Dodgers, and Seaver was pitching. And mind you, it's the only time I've ever been to Dodger Stadium, which at this point in my life is hard to believe. And what do you think happened? What do you think happened?
The
See
Mets
the pitch
won.
to no hitter?
Well, he
No,
shut him out. He shut him
no.
out. They couldn't touch him. Seaver won 6-0. I
Who
mean,
did you root for
the Dodgers.
that day?
The
Okay,
Dodgers, yeah,
good,
of course. But I'm
good.
just
Never
saying,
change.
yeah, and it
Hey,
was
before we get to Robert, I just want to say that Tug McGraw was my favorite all-time Met off
wow.
the top of my head. Tug's brother and I, when I was in the Air Force, I went to Vallejo Junior College, as it was renamed Solano College, and I sat in the cafeteria with one of his brothers. And in looking back, it didn't work out for them. But I think Frank, who is the brother I have in mind, is serving a life prison sentence. But we talked about his brother coming up, and I'm in California, and it wasn't like today where you get news and this and that. Um, so I was enlightened by him, and I rooted for him um, from the start. He's just one of my favorites, but he came to mind, uh, Bernie. Now I'll ask you, Robert, and we'll close it out.
Before you go, can I just do one thing? Now that you brought up Tug McGraw, you may or may not remember this, but I was at the game. Now, if you recall, early in the Mets' lifetime of being a baseball team, Marichal and Koufax, and I think Jim Bunning, all the top pitchers at the time, the Mets could never beat them. You recall that, right?
Right.
Marichal and Koufax were like
Oh, yeah.
27-0 against them. And
Right.
I was at the game at Shea Stadium when they beat Koufax for the first time. And do you know who got the win for the Mets?
Well,
It
Todd
might
McGraw
have
was
been
a starting
Tugger.
pitcher back then.
Yes, he started that game and he
Yes.
won that game. Tug McGraw, very
Yeah.
good.
All right, so here's a little thing, a little bit of inside trivia. Where and when did Tug McGraw get the nickname Tug?
That I
Good
don't
question.
From his mother. She says if you keep tugging on it, it's going to fall off.
know.
So I'm just telling you now, Tug McGraw. Sorry.
Mm,
That
This
was
is
good.
why I get paid the
I-
big bucks, folks.
I did
This is
not
why
see
I
that
get
coming.
paid the big bucks.
No, me neither. Me neither.
What, you
All
didn't
right,
see it
Robert.
coming? Oh, that was horrible. You didn't see
That's-
it coming.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
jeez. Neither did its mother. Hey,
Right.
hey,
But Tug did.
hey.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, Robert, give us your guy.
This is a hard act to follow now. But Gil Hodges, of course, was my favorite. He was my favorite Dodger. Okay, my
Yeah.
favorite Met. You know, and then my player that I liked the most was Ron Swoboda. Now, Ron Swoboda was, in Casey Stengel's mind, was going to be the next Mickey Mantle. Okay, could hit a ball as far as Mantle,
I
could
remember that.
run
Yeah.
like Mantle. You know, okay, he used to call him Swug, SWUG. Casey never called anybody by the right names. Okay, so, and then my third best favorite Met was Ed Charles. Okay,
Ah, the glider.
the glider.
The glider.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say Ed Kranepool. All right. Yeah. Ed Charles.
Ed Charles. And if people, remember or don't remember, in the Jackie Robinson movie, it was supposedly Ed Charles who put his head on the rail listening to the train, okay, as Jackie Robinson rode out of town. And I don't know if you guys
Wow.
remember that scene.
I do. I do.
And that was supposed to be Ed Charles.
Interesting.
Jackie
Yeah.
Robinson, speaking of Jackie Robinson and the Mets, worked either color or pregame or after game in the very early years, 62, 63 of the Mets. And he was so embittered by their ineptitude, and that Casey was basically in those years just the press liaison, and he was cute and all that. We'll get into some of the things that Casey did in terms of instruction that in later shows. But Robinson, I think he was very sad that he never got the opportunity to manage.
I agree. In fact,
Yeah.
Walter O'Malley, may he not rest in peace, basically promised Jackie Robinson that he would get a chance to manage. So, and that was probably the only one of maybe a million promises that O'Malley broke in his lifetime. But he did. He deserved a chance, and he never got it.
Yeah. We'll talk about what the Mets, what made the Mets possible, and that was the departure of the Dodgers and the Giants. We'll talk about that on future shows. Hey, thanks, guys. Oh, what's your guy?
What's going on?
Did you end on that?
No, we haven't ended yet. Where does
No, we're
anybody else?
here.
Would anybody else like to shout anybody else out before we go?
Yeah, sure. If you happen to be in Hollywood, Florida this Saturday, come and see the Florida Swamp Cats with yours truly and my buddy Red Bean Blaze leading the way at the Hollywood Art Walk this Saturday. And the Forever Eric Clapton tribute up on Singer Island Friday night. If you are in the neighborhood, come see some music, because I'll be there.
Well, you better
and
be
if we
there.
ever
You're
get
part of it.
And if we ever get together, we lost Ralph, but that's okay, because I'm going to end it like he would have anyway. So if we ever get together, Bernie, would like to absolutely jam with you. I'd like to either play harp or sing or whatever with you guys. So we'll have to do that one more time. Robert Cole, thanks for being a part of this, man. You're a co-host now. Check that out in the
Yeah.
Marty Rose Memorial Podcast booth.
No, the Marty Rose. Marty
Yeah,
Rose
the Marty
Memorial Park.
Rose. Yeah, the Marty
That's what he
Rose
said.
Memorial Podcast booth. But I said
Okay.
Robert
Got that
Cole.
right.
How does that feel?
Good.
How does that?
Good.
Good. Right
Yep.
on.
Always,
All right,
always,
guys.
always remember Marty.
There you go. And
Absolutely.
again, guys, don't forget to stay comfortably zoned in Metsville. Until next week, we're out of here, guys. We'll see you.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Good to see you.